So there's two types of shoulder replacements. The reverse replacement, I get a lot of people asking me if we put their arm on backwards or if they have to, walk around on their hands. But what it means is in our normal anatomy, the humerus, which is the bone that goes from the shoulder to the elbow, has a ball on it. And the scapula, which is the other half of the joint, usually has the socket on it. The reverse replacement merely switches those orientations so that the socket is placed on the humerus and the ball or hemisphere is attached to where the socket used to be on the scapula. Why do we do that? Well, the rotator cuff is a set of muscles that doesn't really rotate. It's more of a stabilizer. So when enough of that cuff is torn and retracted and not repairable, what ends up happening is every time you try to raise your arm, the ball slides up in the socket because the cuff's job is really to keep the ball centered in the socket. It's a stabilizing set of muscles. They're not super big or powerful. They don't generate a lot of force. So every time you raise your arm, if the cuff is deficient, it creates the shearing motion on your socket. And if left alone for long enough, that develops into an arthritic condition. And the two, a rotator cuff plus arthritis, is something we call cuff tear arthropathy. And that was a problem we couldn't solve with standard anatomic replacements. And so over the last 30 years, there's been this huge development and movement towards the reverse replacements, and it solves that problem. And in fact, we've now expanded its usage in other issues too. Anything that leaves you with a deficient rotator cuff, a fracture, a revision shoulder replacement, a cuff that's not repairable, dislocations that can't be solved in any other way. We've expanded the use of that, and we're seeing good results, and people are doing really well with the reverse replacement.